All right. Hello, my friends. I hope today's a day that everybody is doing well. Thank you for coming back. If you're returning, thank you for stopping in if you're new. I hope you find something that you like and enjoy my channel. This is a video I've been meaning to do for a while, but it's quite a long one. And I was trying to decide if I'm breaking it into two parts or three parts. I realize breaking it into two parts that the second video is probably only going to get half as many views as the first, but it's something I really want to watch, and I think breaking it in three parts is a little too much. So we're going to break it into two parts. So please, if you enjoy it, watch the second video as well. It's Indonesia Spice Kingdom, the Mark of Empire, Majapahit. I guess that's correct, hopefully. And I'm really hoping I won't learn a lot from this. It's supposed to be a pretty good documentary, I think. And I'm not going to ramble on too much because it is long, and even this first video is going to be pretty long. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already, if you want to. If you don't want to, okay. But here we go, Indonesia Spice Kingdom. Sure my sound's right.
Southeast Asia is one of the most diverse places on the planet.
Wow.
With so many different cultures and religions, all living side by side. And I'm an example of just that. My name is Peter Lee. I'm a Singaporean scholar of Peranakan descent, Chinese with a dash of Malay blood. I celebrate being mixed up.
Being mixed
It's
up.
right in my DNA. My passion is collecting artifacts that offer a fresh narrative. It's a European fairy tale, but is depicted on a batik from Indonesia. How wonderful is that?
Oh, hot air balloon.
I'm setting off on a new journey, traveling further back in time. Oh my God, we see this everywhere in Southeast Asia. To explore how the region.
What is that? Is that like a maze? Is that like a maze, or is it like knots representing knots tied in ropes? Because I've saw some ropes tied in patterns similar to that before. It almost looked like a maze.
Have shaped our collective identity. This is a gold mine. No culture exists in isolation. In this episode, I'm traveling to Indonesia to learn about a 700-year-old empire that once dominated these islands. They built a trading empire so vast that it stretched across much of the spice route.
Whoa.
I'm probing the secrets of how it grew into one of Southeast Asia's greatest powers.
Oh, that was a big spear point.
And how its legacy lives on today.
This is gonna be good, I can tell already.
The world's largest island state of Indonesia is an archipelago of over 17,000 islands, more than 6 religions, and 300 different ethnicities.
Do most of the people in Indonesia live on the coast? I'm assuming they do, pretty close to the beach or to the ocean. I'm assuming not many people live inland very far. Please let me know in the comments.
All once unified by the Majapahit Empire.
Majapahit.
Okay?
To find out how it all comes together as one nation today, I'm in a 4th grade civics education class.
My name is Peter Lee. I'm from Singapore. You all know where Singapore is? Yes? Oh no, yeah. Singapore is a small island and Indonesia is so big. And we have only 4 main races. So today I want to learn a little bit more about Indonesia. Can you tell me where your family is from? Ada dari Jawa? Dari Jawa Timur, Kaltim, Sulawesi Selatan.
Wow, they're from
Jawa
everywhere.
Barat, Sunda. Ya, Sunda.
Pada
Chinese.
We think we're a melting pot in Singapore, but right here, I've just found over 10 ethnicities.
Wow.
I want to find out how their teacher, Neni Herawati, bridges these differences.
Anak-anak di sekolah itu kan mereka berbeda-beda suku bangsa. Ini pun tidak menjadi hambatan untuk mereka bisa berjalan seiring bersama-sama. Kita akan belajar tentang indahnya kebersamaan. Indahnya kebersamaan itu artinya apa coba?
saling menghargai.
Saling menghargai. Ya, udah boleh Audi.
Tidak memilih berbeda.
Negara kita itu adalah negara yang terdiri dari berbagai pulau, ya. Maka walaupun berbeda-beda suku bangsa, kita tetap berpedoman kepada semboyan negara kita apa? Artinya beda-beda tetapi tetap satu.
Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, or Unity in Diversity, is Indonesia's national motto.
Oh, wow.
But where did this phrase come from? And what's the story behind this call to unity?
Ini naskah Sutasoma, naskah tertua yang dimiliki Perpustakaan Nasional. Perkiraan waktu penulisan di masa kejayaan Majapahit.
Wow.
Wow. Look how beautiful that is.
Yudi Irawan is showing me the Sutasoma, a
Sutasoma.
700-year-old poem written on dried palm leaves.
I've handled so many ancient and archaic materials, but I've never handled anything of such great national importance.
If you see me looking around a little bit and wondering what I'm looking at and what I'm distracted by, for some reason my cat's in quite a frisky mood right now. And she is having a fit and jumping all over the place, and it's causing a little bit of a ruckus. So that's what's going on. If you see me looking around, I'm not distracted, but I am a little.
Teks Sutasoma ini menceritakan tentang pengembaraan Pangeran Sutasoma. Dalam pengembaraan itu dia melihat berbagai hal gitu.
Sutasoma was an Indian prince with no interest in ruling, so he left his kingdom to travel.
Wow.
One story records a clash between religions. A wicked king called Purushada lived off the flesh of his subjects.
Oh.
To help them, Buddha reincarnate Prince Sutasoma offered his own body. But this offended Purushada, who called on Lord Shiva, the Hindu god of destruction, to kill Sutasoma. The Buddha and Lord Shiva battled, but both were equally strong. The battle continued until priests told them to stop fighting.
Now, I have never heard of this, a battle between Buddha and Lord Shiva. This is pretty interesting. Pretty interesting.
Because although they looked different, in reality, they were one.
Oh.
Bhinneka Tunggal Ika.
So this is the famous Bhinneka Tunggal Ika.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
It's a parable of religious harmony during the 200-year rule of the Majapahit that stood for how Buddhism and Hinduism were often practiced side by side. An idea of acceptance that continues to have resonance today. The Majapahit is said to have been the first kingdom to unite the diverse archipelago. To understand how it flourished, I'm starting at the very beginning. In 1289, an envoy from the Mongol Emperor Kublai Khan landed in Java to demand
He's never
allegiance.
good news.
But King Kertanagara sent them packing by mutilating their faces.
Oh.
In retaliation, Kublai Khan sent a mighty fleet of 1,000 ships and 20,000 men to unseat the Javanese king. But when they landed in Java 3 years later, King Kertanagara had been assassinated, and in his place was a different king. A prince called Raden Wijaya saw his chance. He offered to help the Mongols overthrow the new king and swear allegiance to the great Khan.
Oh, no.
Together, they attacked. And captured the king. But then, Raden Wijaya turned on his allies with a surprise attack. The Mongols fled, never to return. In 1294, Raden Wijaya became the first king of the Majapahit and built his
1294.
capital in the hinterlands of Java, in the city of Trawulan.
Centuries ago, this was one of its most important gateways. Split gates such as these were built to impress and intimidate. And I can really feel that standing here.
Wow. That's some impressive brickwork. Wow, look at that. That is impressive brickwork. I mean, if you were coming into the city and you had to pass through those gates, you'd feel like you'd arrived somewhere. You'd really feel like you were there.
I want to see what else is left of the Majapahit Empire.
Chicken.
The people of Majapahit worshipped in places like these, called chandis. They were usually either Hindu or Buddhist temples. But
Oh, that's
people
like
often
scaffolding.
visited both.
Okay.
This one was rediscovered in 1905.
Umpama waktu itu Belanda tidak peduli dengan Candi Dermo, kemungkinan sudah roboh, sudah rata dengan tanah. Pada umumnya di Jawa Timur, sebagian besar candi-candi adalah terbuat dari bata. Ini bata asli. Kemudian yang bagian atas ini bata baru. Jadi pemasangannya.
Sumaryanto heads a local effort to restore the temple to its former glory. The work is being done at the top, but I suffer a bit from vertigo.
Oh, I wouldn't.
Not my favorite thing.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't think I'd do it. Oh,
All the way. Okay. Oh my God. I can't look down.
yeah, they just have to take a camera up there and take a picture for me.
Wow. An amazing view up here.
Oh, it is nice view.
Bagus sekali. The design is based on surviving remnants of the bricks on one side. There are even some carved bricks that have survived. They're just going to leave this like this.
Oh.
So you can clearly see what's original and what has been replaced.
But there's still plenty left to be done, and I want to help.
Kasih air dulu, basah. Lalu kita ratakan bagian yang.
So I'm trying to do this carefully because I don't want to waste their precious bricks. Wah, jauh.
Iya.
The next step is to grind the bricks down.
Oh, that's how they get them so perfect.
Perfectly aligned these bricks are. So this new one on the top has to be ground until it's a perfect and snug fit. This takes
Wow.
ages. It's not easy to do.
I'm 20 minutes in and nowhere close to meeting Pak Sumaryanto's standards.
I'm getting some help to do the final touches.
The last step is to set it with some mortar.
It's a little bit of mortar, not much at all.
That's a perfect fit.
Wow.
It's great to see this Majapahit heritage being cared for, especially since nearly 90% of Indonesians today are no longer Hindu or Buddhist.
So 10% are Hindu or Buddhists.
There is a Muslim cemetery here, there's a mosque, there's just a school on the other side. This is really part of the neighborhood. I just love the way this is so integrated. It's one of the most beautiful things to experience.
Majapahit's religious tolerance resulted in peace throughout the kingdom. But it was geography, its position on the island of Java between India and China, that saw the Majapahit grow into a trading power. I've been allowed access to a dig site in the old capital that can provide evidence of just how wealthy the empire once was.
Situs ini dikenal dengan nama situs Grogol. Itu yang batu-batu itu sisa-sisa lantai. Apa namanya, kalau yang bata merah ini kemungkinan pembatas-pembatas ruangan.
It's always been a dream of mine to be an archaeologist. When I was little, I actually wanted to be an archaeologist till I found out there was no money in it. And I still actually today, I think when I get old and retire, and here most colleges, when you retire, you can take classes for free. I think I'm going to go back and get a degree in archaeology. I really love archaeology.
Yusmaini Eriawati and her team have uncovered the base of a house with 700-year-old artifacts.
Whoa.
Away the soil.
Sedikit-sedikit ya, biar dia tampak sendiri.
This is a very precious old part of some ceramic pot.
Daunnya itu, daun lotus.
The lotus.
Nah, di sini kelihatan bahwa ini bagian dari vas bunga yang besar. Nah, ini salah satu hiasannya.
It's actually very beautifully rendered. And, you know, it's more typical to see a lotus flower, not the leaf. This is very beautiful.
The team have made a variety of finds that tell an exciting story of the empire's reach.
Kita umumnya di trawulan ini kita ketemu 3 asal keramik. Ini keramik Thailand dari Sukhothai. Sukhothai itu hiasannya biasanya umumnya tuh gambar ikan. Kalau misalnya dia berwarna merah, ini dari Vietnam.
Vietnamese had
Memang
red
yang paling
glaze.
dominan keramik Cina, dari
Chinese
Loluan,
ceramic.
dari Cindengchen, dari Fujian, Dehua,
Wow.
dari Guangdong.
I'm blown away by how cosmopolitan the Majapahit were. Religious and ethnic tolerance, combined with its strategic location, were the building blocks for an empire. But the secret to its wealth was born from the island's treacherous terrain.
Oh, commercial time. We're back.
I'm in Java, exploring how the Majapahit grew into an empire.
Just look at this, the quiet majesty.
The rice fields always amaze me. I guess I need to look it up sometime, how the irrigation works. They always look so well manicured and they're just so perfect. Beautiful, really.
Of rice fields and volcanoes.
This island is part of what geologists call the Ring of Fire.
Of the 130 active volcanoes in Indonesia, the largest cluster exists here in Java. So the people have lived here for centuries on that very
Whoa.
fine line between sublime beauty and utter destruction.
It was this particular geography that gave the Majapahit a great advantage.
Look at that. That is amazing.
I'm helping Darso Widodo, a third-generation farmer from Karang Pandan, Central Java, plant vegetables.
What's he got growing?
Ini tomat.
Tomato and chilies.
Ini cabai merah.
Ini begini
Ya.
betul.
Dibuang, ya.
Sudah?
Dah.
I like that digging tool. I need one of those. My garden.
Everyone should start their morning like this. So good for the soul.
It's almost enough to make me forget about the ominous shape in the distance.
I would be very scared to live so close to a volcano.
Daerah sini yang dekat-dekat itu ndak was-was kalau menurut saya. Tanyanya ya bagus ya, istimewa di sini.
Mount Lau has been dormant since 1885. But in 2014, another volcano erupted just 140 kilometers away.
Lupa itu, sampai sini abunya, jadi sampai 2 cm mungkin.
I know that volcano erupted last week. Is it still going off, or is it pretty much calmed down a little bit? Like 20-something people died, I think. Hopefully it hasn't got any worse. I haven't heard anything else about it in the news, but please let me know in the comments if it's still going.
Ya di sini. Kalau dulu situ meletus, tuh sesudah itu panenan di sini ya bagus.
So it really has this positive effect on farming.
Volcanic ash is rich in minerals that stimulate plant growth, making Java the most fertile of all Indonesia's islands, and giving the Majapahit Empire massive rice harvests, more than enough to feed the local population.
That's good.
And trade with merchants from the Spice Islands, who would travel here on monsoon trade winds that blew from the east between June and September. Their boats were laden with spices like clove, nutmeg, and mace
Nutmeg.
that they traded for rice. They would sail home when the winds changed direction 3 months later.
Huh.
These west winds brought a new set of merchants who came to Java to trade their porcelain, beads, and textiles for spices.
So they're going to give them the nutmeg and clothes.
This trade turned Java's coastline into thriving trade ports,
Is that a river? Oh,
including
that's
this,
the ocean. Wow, look at all those boats.
the city of Tuban.
Wow.
Tuban's golden age was during the Majapahit period.
Tuban.
It had a large community of merchants, both local and foreign. And it was also the scene of cultural transformation.
I'd like to go there.
I'm searching for an iconic product born from the winds of trade,
Partner.
an art form that I feel a deep connection with.
Oh my goodness. Enak sekali ke sini.
As a collector of traditional textiles, I'm always on the lookout for good batik.
My mother, my grandmother, and my ancestors were all wearing batik. So
Batik.
it's very much part of the history of other countries, and it's the history of my community.
Uzwatun Hassana is a fourth-generation batik maker.
Ini alat tenun yang namanya tenun gedok karena diambil dari suaranya dok dok.
Duck. It's named after its noise.
Mereka para ibu-ibu mengerjakan ini malam hari. Jadi tetangganya bunyi dok dok tur, di sana dok dok tur, sahur-sahuran dari irama musik.
So this is another kind of intangible aspect of weaving that nobody ever talks about. The sound of batik.
It takes
Oh, I'd like
over
to have
30
one of
steps
those.
to make a piece of gedok cloth.
That is amazing how much
And
work.
it begins
Look at them.
with spinning raw cotton into yarn.
Tempel.
Would love to get one of those.
Ah. She's just letting the yarn just pool itself.
Pelan-pelan lagi. Tarik.
Oh my god.
It
It
just-
really is just happening like magic.
Wow.
You just touch.
Oh, he broke it.
Well, I'm obviously not the magician.
Once the cloth is done, comes my favorite part.
Look at that. How much
Drawing
skill.
patterns using wax.
They use wax.
As a scholar, I'm very interested in the designs.
Look at that.
Jadi motif batik ini menggambarkan dari unsur Cina, ini ada burung hong. Terus ini ada Jawa Hindu yang menggambarkan Majapahit. Terus ada juga unsur India.
Semua.
Oh, it's got a little bit of everything.
Yeah. Being Peranakan and being so mixed in many ways, I love seeing all this wonderful mishmash of vibrant, dynamic patterns.
The
And they're gonna
fabric
dye
is then
it.
soaked in a bath of natural dyes.
And they're
before
gonna,
it's run out.
then they're
A
gonna
process
heat it up
that is repeated 30 times.
30 times. So much work goes into these.
So this is an oxidization process, and we're starting to see the pattern.
Nenek saya itu waktu tua, itu tangannya
Oh no.
seneng.
Ya, pertama kali saya coba.
Amazing.
Tuman batiks are just the earliest kind of batik that we know.
So beautiful.
There's a lot of pride in this as something so Indonesian, but there were very
Wow.
interesting influences going back and forth. We should be celebrating these links rather than separating all our cultures into different.
Whenever I get to
sort of
Indonesia, I'm gonna
boundaries.
buy me one. Wonder how much they cost. Probably pretty expensive. That's a lot of work.
Religious and ethnic tolerance and its location at the center of a major trading route resulted in a blending of cultures that powered the Majapahit Empire. But it was a legendary prime minister who led the empire to its golden age in the 14th century. The
Who's this
Elephant
guy?
General Gajah Mada,
Elephant General.
who some say made an oath that he would not taste spice until all of their outer islands were under Majapahit rule. True to his word, in 1331, he consolidated the empire's hold over eastern Java. In 1343, he conquered Bali and continued eastwards. By the mid-14th century, Majapahit's tributary states were said to stretch from New Guinea to parts of the Malay archipelago. With extensive trade links, the empire grew richer and richer, and the extravagance of the royal court knew no bounds. Under King Hayam Wuruk, a great patron of Indonesian arts, the empire built a rich cultural heritage that is beloved and practiced even today. Something I want to experience firsthand.
All right, I think we're gonna stop now and call that the first video. I'm gonna go ahead and get it processing, grab me a bite to eat, and start the second video, part 2. I'm really enjoying this. Thank you so much for suggesting it. This is a whole lot better than I even expected. I'm almost in shock. This is really good. This is really good program. And please let me know what you think in the comments. If I ask any questions, please try to answer them as best you can. I know I probably ask a lot of questions, and I probably sound stupid or ignorant in some of them, but I want to learn. And let me know in the comments what you think. Please like or subscribe if you haven't, and please come back for part 2. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. Goodbye.